There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we will be getting to the JRC here in a moment. But first, the disclaimers and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links are going to be there for you right there in the description box. We do recommend Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject. There you will find court transcripts, ER documentation, as well as video surveillance footage, ER documentation that includes photographic evidence taken by the professionals around the Canton, Massachusetts hospital areas. You name it, we've got it on Autistic Hoya's massive archive. I'm sorry, I'm kind of having a little bit of an autistic brain fog day. So, folks, take a look at that. We have Neuroplastics article, the one where they surveyed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center's so-called behavioral modification program. Please read that, folks. Yes, the JRC is still threatening them. No, Neuroplastic has not taken the article down yet, so please read it and share it on all your social media. As always, we do have Neuroplastic's link for the GoFundMe in there as well, because unlike the JRC, we don't have access to unlimited sums of money. Trigger warnings. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to go ahead and utilize the headphones. Also, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity and we do speak on dark subjects. If your child's 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is very much advised. Before we get to the JRC, I just want to make a statement real quick, folks. In regards to my lives and everything. So I went from, leaving Wayfair being happy about it and having the first decent amount of stress relief that I've had in over a decade to have it completely replaced by a far, far worse kind of stress, where for the first time I'm starting to fear my own damn government. I've been on thin ice a long time politically. My saving grace is A, being a big fish in a small pond, and B, who my uncle is, and that's pretty much it. So my level of paranoia is through the roof. I am constantly talking to other folks, People First, ASAN, ADAPT, ARC, in regards to the absolute insanity that these people are talking in regards to cuts to not just Medicaid, but also Social Security. We have absolutely no infrastructure to even at least minimize the damage for a large portion of Americans who did not grow up with silver spoons in our mouths. So, that's why I haven't been live, folks. It's kind of pandemonium right now. And I'll keep trying to do the very best that I can. But it's a lot to cover. It's a lot to get through. The JRC stuff is still going on right now as well. And also still fighting to end sub-minimum wage here in Missouri in regards to the sheltered workshops. So please, folks, just be patient with me. We will get to a live at some point. Hopefully, if there's a miracle. Alright. And also, allergies, folks, really bad. Missouri in storm season is allergy hell. So please, I apologize for any snuffles, anything of that nature, alright? Okay, now where we left off. Yes, this is where we left off. You remember when they were saying, but the FDA assumes that removing the device is going to protect them. They're like, but you refuse to see the probate court and all this and all the stuff that we do is protecting them. Alright, JRC, let me make it real simple for you. I hope you can understand this. Please don't make me go into toddler speak. I'm out of practice. All my nieces and nephews are getting older. So, please, JRC, if you would, open your ears in regards to what we're getting ready to say here to you right now. And make it real simple for you. If you remove the torture device from the person being forced to wear the torture device, that means you are no longer at risk for physical pain to be used on you without your consent. Avoid such things as second and third degree burns. Avoid such things such as your equipment getting wet, because the JRCs and St. Asses make these kids shower with those devices on, where they go off and continuously shock them non-stop. If you remove the device, you are protected from all the risks involved in regards to the device. Simples. Because even trying to use Massachusetts probate court as an argument, or your bought and paid for court counsel as a part of the Massachusetts probate court, any way you slice it, even if you guys consider it legal or necessary, which in my opinion makes you the absolute worst monsters, and think that you definitely do belong in Dante's ninth circle of hell for all eternity. But yeah, so what is it protecting them from if we remove the device from them? From the device, you moron. Okay? If you're not wearing the device, you are no longer under threat of said device. So if the FDA finally finalizes and makes this man go through entirely, what that means is the FDA has protected them from the physical pain, the psychological trauma, second and third degree burns, and loss of feelings in different parts of the body, because they're no longer wearing the device. This has absolutely nothing to do with the Massachusetts probate court or your bought and paid for court appointed counsel. It has zero to do with any of it. Any of it. Whether you are saying that they viewed it as safe and efficient or not, if it were actually safe, we wouldn't be discussing why you feel causing kids physical pain over habit behaviors they cannot control is absolutely monstrous. And the fact of the matter is, JRC, you've left us with no other choice. We have gone through every single avenue. The Massachusetts courts, the UN. Do you understand? The medical model does not support you. You as a tiny school should have not been able to wield enough power to continue to get away with this for so long, especially when you have literally caused the deaths of 6 kids. Through negligence, through idiocy, or whatever you want to accuse, 6 kids are dead on your time at your facility. That is a fact. Okay? The FDA is providing protection for those kids by making it so they do not have to wear a device that was literally designed to cause them physical pain that have been known to be far more powerful than that of a police taser. That's what they'll be protected from. The Massachusetts probate court is not protecting those kids from that device. Okay? We have fought and fought and fought and fought. But at this point, you've got those bastards so corrupt that there was just no way. So we had to find other avenues. Okay? The judges have not said at any point in time that this device does not cause the wearer physical pain. The Massachusetts court has not debated the fact that there are students with ER documentation that show for 2nd and 3rd degree burns. What are they protecting them from, JRC? From themselves! Let me let you all in on a little secret here. There are situations that, yes, a person, you need to get them proper care. But if you're in a particular kind of debate like this, and yet when they yell at you and say, but we got to protect you from yourself, but when you see with how they're so-called protecting you, it's not actually protection at all. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the Massachusetts probate court says. It doesn't matter what your bought and paid for actual JRC staff doctors and clinicians say. It doesn't matter. We know what the facts are. Remove the device. The injuries cited, such as 2nd and 3rd degree burns, psychological issues, shocking someone literally into a 2-year catatonic coma, that threat goes away. Which means they're protecting them. Simples. All right, folks, we'll go in here. We'll just read the first sentence because it looks like another complete storm of gaslighting. Yep. All right, FDA provides no coherent analysis or reasoning why a ban of ESDs, the very treatment that finally stopped the severe disfiguring and otherwise permanent injuries the JRC patients were inflicting upon themselves and others, would protect the vulnerable patients. JRC, and I need you to hear me on this. Would you shut up and listen for a second? It's not the FDA's job to decide alternative care for your students. It is the FDA's job to determine whether that device is more of a risk than a benefit. That is their sole job here. Are you hearing me? We are well aware that you are talking about folks that have SIB and AB. We have that well established. Okay? I'm going to be brutally honest here with you all. It is not the FDA's job to protect in regards to the SIB or AB. Because that is not their department. That would be your department, JRC. Which you are painfully bad at. Because if you were actually good at what it is that you say that you do, there would need to be absolutely no need for that kind of device. And every time you're saying, but it's protecting them, it's protecting them, it's protecting them. Switching me abusing myself with you abusing me instead still leaves me with being abused. You abusing me is not going to protect me. Okay? What is there not to get here? But if you were like them, I was like them. See, that's the thing that the JRC really doesn't like you to know about us advocates. They like to push it off like, but they're high functioning and you can barely tell. And they were always like that. The fuck I was. I used to have a thing where I'd stick copper pennies in my mouth all the time because the particular type of metal off of it assists me with some sensory issues. A little kind of odd form of pica. Okay? I well could have swallowed something that would have got me, you know, dead. Let's see here. I've already told you guys the hairbrush slamming, the full force punching in the jaw, slapping my own face, banging my head into walls, banging my legs into walls and fists, and the body slams, slamming myself into solid wood, oak furniture, such as my dresser. I was that kid. Stop telling me it's impossible. Because I lived it. And I have the medical history to prove it. Too bad I don't got a graph. Sorry. I miss the days when our worst concern in politics was whether Ross Perot was going to beat both the Democrats and the Republicans. Don't you? Yeah. Anyway. It's not the FDA's job to stop those types of behaviors, JRC. Their department is to regulate medical devices used by people who practice medicine. That is their job. That is their purpose. Anything you say here, in the scope of what their job actually is completely and utterly irrelevant. The FDA has to answer to a couple of questions. What is the benefit of the GED device from the panel perspective? The panel has concurred with most of sane humanity, which means it will temporarily stop a particular SIB or AB for a few seconds. That is its sole benefit. Everything else that JRC tried to convince us with is one of my favorite words since it's hearsay. Okay? It's hearsay. Irrelevant to the point. Irrelevant to the point. They are to determine whether that medical device whether it's worth those risks. Okay, so first they got to determine what is the actual benefit. They determined it is that it will stop a behavior temporarily with a shock. And JRC, having looked through the evidence you made those poor folks have to read through. Yeah. You could not prove a single point whatsoever in regards to the extended benefits that you continue to repeat in the most horrific run-on sentences I have ever come across in my life. And I'm pretty sure if I die and go to hell, I'm going to be stuck reading JRC run-on sentences forever. God. Sorry. Law. So, their job is the benefit worth the risk. The JRC cannot prove that so-called improvements are a direct response of the device or the other part of their program, because these people do not know how to conduct a proper clinical study to save their own lives. Okay? We do not know after a person has been faded off the device of whether those behaviors come back or not, because the JRC has never conducted any follow-through whatsoever at all with their former students, particularly those who participated in their sad version of a clinical study. We do not see how they're doing after a month, 6 months, a year, 5, 10. We got bupkis. Bupkis! But see, they're smiling and all of that. Do not make me tap the sign and explain masking again. But anyways, even that too is irrelevant, JRC. You cannot prove that that device does anything whatsoever to improve the quality of life of the student. Because quite frankly, confirmation bias is absolutely all over the medical model. You seeing what you want to see, which is what this masking is. That's me giving you what you want to see out of me, so you'll leave me alone. FDA's job is to protect the kids from that device. Point blank, period. You, JRC, have the job of making sure those kids finally, after all these years, get a proper full functional behavioral assessment done. Throw away your entire program because it is absolutely barbaric, monstrous garbage. And start learning about the other programs out there who have far more success but far less trauma. Considering one of those options happens to be traditional ABA, one of the most rampant, ableist, brainwashing kind of science I've ever seen, and even they are doing better than you. Okay? Point blank. It's not the FDA's job to do your job. It is the FDA's job to protect those kids from a device that has caused infinitely more harm than good. It's very simple. Your job is to deal with the behaviors in a humane and sane manner. The FDA's job is to protect those kids from any device designed to cause them physical pain over things they cannot control. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? The FDA protects people by protecting them from devices that could cause them real physical and psychological harm. That's where their job begins and ends. Anything after that is on you, JRC. You gotta do the proper assessments, the correct ones this time. You've got to retrain your entire staff in regards to the real sane treatment programs out there and get them to start implementing them immediately, including uncovering what the triggers are and working from there. Couldn't possibly be more clear than that. Okay? Couldn't possibly be more clear. We're going to go ahead and close out on that one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea definitely do hope you have a good one. I will see you all in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.